The video that follows I actually took quite some time ago, probably a couple of years now, and covers my Amstrad PCW8512, which I'd recently acquired at that time. In a future video I will actually be getting the old PCW out again and going through some of its various features, but for now, please enjoy the video that's coming up. Good evening. So the other day I picked up this Amstrad 8256, 8512, which is a computer word processor thing from the 1980s. So this is the actual motherboard. We have here, if I focus on it, the Zilog Z80 CPU, which is the main CPU. Down here we have 512k of RAM, and we have a couple of other custom chips which basically allow this device to operate. There's no BIOS as such. Basically there is a bootstrap mechanism which, when you insert a floppy disk, sector 0 is detected and the system will boot from a floppy. When going into one of these, standard procedures for high tension circuitry applies, so make sure that you discharge from the first anode cap here, and make sure that you are very careful around the circuitry here, which is all control circuitry for the display. Now, the problem I've got is with these floppy disk drives. I've got one drive here and I have another one up here that I've just repaired. And the main thing that goes wrong with these drives, predictably at this age, is the drive belt. Now, unfortunately, what tends to happen is the rubber turns into this rather horrible sticky substance. So some baby wipes and a bit of time and attention, and you can get it cleaned up so it is at least smooth enough to apply a new belt. So you need to remove a screw here and here once you've got the floppy disk out the cradle. The floppy disks actually sit inside this floppy disk drive rather. And this cradle is actually bolted into the main case of the machine itself, so you need to remove that and then bring the drive out. You also need to remove the motherboard first as well, and the motherboard literally slides into these points here, and there's a little release tab there that you can just pull back. You can pull the motherboard out. So the drive belt itself literally loops around this main pulley here, and then we'll loop around the motor here. One thing to be careful of is this little tab here. So basically under here there's a micro switch, and this little tab, when you put a floppy disk in, compresses down the micro switch and allows the drive to know that there's a disk in there. If you turn the drive upside down with the board removed, this little pin will fall out. How do I know that? I did it just now on this one, but thankfully it fell into my lap, so I was able to repair it very quickly and replace it very quickly. On the 8512 there are two floppy disk drives. Top one is single density, so it's single-sided. Bottom one is double density, so double-sided, so make sure you get them back in the same order. So basically, once this is reassembled, it should actually start to read disks. Generally they're actually very reliable, so usually a clean-up of the pulleys and new drive belts is all that's required. And that's basically that. And thank you very much for watching.